What's up, everybody? Welcome to IGN Game Scoop. I'm your host, Damon Hatfield. Joining me this week, Brandon Tyrell,
Howdy.
Jared Petty,
Greetings,
Marty Sleva.
Ahoy!
We've got a great show for you this week. We're about to bounce, trying to get out of here a little early for a long holiday weekend, Labor Day.
Yeah.
Labor Day weekend, but we can't leave without delivering your video game scoops. This week we got a release date finally for Uncharted 4. A Thief's End.
That's ominous.
The subtitle of
Yeah,
that game. Anyone know what this release date is? Anyone remember?
No.
March 18th,
That's a good day.
2016.
Christmas Day.
Nope.
No, that's not
when Christmas is?
Maybe for
No.
PlayStation fans.
Yeah.
That is 1 week before March 25th when Sauron fell. 7 days. Other than that,
Sauron fell on March 25th?
he did.
Interesting.
It's the first day of the new year of the fourth age in the Kingdom of Gondor.
Is that canon?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, March 18th, next spring. How does that release date sit with everybody? That's not a good
That
time?
sort of is in line with where Bloodborne came out this year.
Yeah.
So
Another
I
big-
feel like that makes
yeah.
sense. Spring, over the past few years, has been becoming, as things slip out of the fall and move into the spring. And we got games like BioShock Infinite. We got Witcher earlier this year. Last of Us, The Order, Bloodborne, Ori. So it's becoming like every year now. There's one or two major games in that spring lineup.
Yeah, before I started this job, people told me about this being a seasonal industry, but I kind of came in when suddenly there were 70 cons throughout the course of the year, and when the spring slip started. I don't think that's true. I don't see a
10
lull
years
anymore.
ago, when I started 10 years ago, the summer was like the dead period.
Yeah.
There was like nothing going on in summer. And now there's just no dead
Now there's just a live show every week.
Always.
Yeah.
Right, every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's super smart. I mean, as big as Uncharted 4 is, and as big as it's going to be, people are going to buy it. There's just too much competition in in the holiday season.
Yeah.
So pushing it out 2-3 months, is
So-
not a bad idea.
You said it seems like now there's at least 2 or 3 big games coming out in the spring. I looked at the release calendar for winter, spring,
Yeah.
let's say Q1
Yeah.
2016. And I've got 10 plus.
Ooh.
10 plus
Wow.
big games coming out early next year. Let's run through them in order. We begin on a very important day, an historic day, January 26th, the day a great man was born.
Who's that, Damon?
A great man.
Great man.
Final Fantasy Explorers comes to 3DS.
Yes. I played a little bit of that at PAX.
This is the cooperative one.
Yeah,
Reminds me of Crystal Chronicles.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
which is great. Except no one has to carry a dumb bucket. So
I like buckets.
I like buckets in general.
like
I just don't like
buckets.
that bucket.
You're pro bucket.
I am pro bucket.
I'm taking a harsh anti-bucket stance.
You put chum in them. Helpful.
That's really your go-to with
Chum
what you're-
bucket?
That's true.
What
Marty,
else would you carry chum
What
in?
are you going to carry your chum in?
Pockets?
A bag?
Cargo
A chum
pants?
bag?
Have you ever, that's what cargo pants were invented for.
We're carrying chum.
Those big old pockets.
We got them pockets.
I think chum is a great word. I wish I had more opportunities to use the word chum.
There is a character in Mad Max called Chum Bucket.
Yeah, I look forward to playing that, by the way. You reviewed that game. And
Very good.
Yeah, I look forward to
You could become a longshoreman, then you'd have maybe more excuses to say chum.
Yep.
Don't do that.
Several IGN editors dress like longshoremen.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
true.
so.
It's sort of
Majority
a
of
San
our video
Francisco
team.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Final Fantasy Explorers, January 26th. That same day, Lego Avengers comes out. I think that was supposed to be this fall and got delayed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Lego Dimensions is also coming out this fall, and they don't want to cannibalize.
Yeah. A few days later, January 29th, is This War of Mine, The Little Ones.
Yeah, so
Coming
that's
to Xbox One and PS4.
that was a real depressing PC game, and now they added children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a war simulator that shows the experience from the civilian perspective.
Yeah.
It's like trying to survive war.
You're basically hole up, right?
Yeah, but you have to do things like you need to find food for your party, and you might have to literally break into someone's house and at gunpoint steal their food. Now there's gonna be kids there, so.
So have you played? I actually haven't played.
I played the original,
Okay,
and then I saw a bit of this one at PAX, and this is a really, mechanics are a good, smart strategy game, but then the subject material is just harrowing. So
Right. So is it fun? Do you have fun playing the game?
as fun as it is to steal food from a starving child at gunpoint. A lot of great Let's Plays are going to come from this.
It's engaging. Like
sure,
this War of Mine is definitely engaging. That you feel compelled to go back and play it again.
No, it's as the video game landscape expands, we need to broaden our expectations to more than just fun of games.
Sure, fun's
it's
important.
the same way,
Yeah.
a movie like, I don't know, 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah.
It's not fun,
No,
but a good,
important
very good
and
movie.
good. Yeah.
It is 12 years, right? Did I get the number right?
That was
It's
it,
not
yeah,
like
the number.
It is 12.
13 and a half years.
You got the
Slave.
DLC.
12 years, 2 months a slave.
Moving into February 5th is XCOM 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Currently a PC exclusive.
Yeah.
We'll see if it remains that way.
As far as I know,
Forever.
it is. We had a whole lot of coverage
Yeah.
earlier this year on XCOM 2, and as far as I know, it is going to stay PC exclusive just because everything they're doing with it, the modding support and all of that, it really requires that platform specifically. But it's looking good. Every day I see new
Although
footage.
Fallout 4 on Xbox One is going to have mods.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true as well.
So
Yeah, I think evidently Enemy Unknown and
Your
Enemy
move.
Within.
developer of XCOM.
Firaxis Games.
I thought we were doing it. Well, I've gone too far. We
Where
gotta
is it?
keep
Where is
going.
it? Where is it?
Yeah, evidently Enemy Unknown and Enemy Within sold remarkably better on PC than it did on consoles.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, just
well, it
makes
makes
double down on
interface. The interface makes a lot of
I
sense.
thought it
And
did well on the mobile though. Also,
yeah.
I think it did, yeah.
It did as well.
I imagine at some point we'll get like an XCOM 2 : something that'll
Yeah.
work out.
Well, the difficulty with the mobile, from what I heard, was that it eats your battery really quickly. That's the only
That
real
game in
downside.
particular did?
Yeah, that game's just really hard. Again, this is kind of hearsay here. I want to be careful, but I've been told that it eats battery really quickly. The interface, otherwise, very perfect.
Yeah. And it's a
neat
gorgeous game.
I'm playing Metal Gear right now. I keep thinking about Mother Base, and I keep just going back to XCOM. Like really, that kind of a lot of the ideas you see there are they have their genesis in that kind of. Take it to the battlefield and take it back thing that's going on in XCOM. It makes the game so good.
A few days later, February 9th is Battleborn.
Battleborn. Yeah.
Battleborn. Are they turning that game around? Or is public perception on that game turning around? It had a
Yeah.
big presence at PAX last weekend.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's one of those tough things where it reminds me of Evolve a little bit, where it was just an elongated preview cycle from announce to, or from reveal to first showing to sort of re-messaging a little bit.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed myself every time I played it.
Yeah, I've played it extensively. We had it in the office for an entire day. We played a lot of it. I've seen it 2 or 3 times now at different conventions, and every time I play it, it's just that feel of getting in there. Once you get your hands on it, it's a much different experience than what the messaging was. I feel like the original messaging sort of was a little muddled. They weren't really sure how to sell it. But this sort of emerging, what's the term going around? Like hero shooter?
Hero shooter, yeah.
The sort of emerging hero shooter sector has really sort of found its niche now. So I think games like Battleborn and Battleborn in particular can sort of gravitate onto that instead of pulling, the dreaded MOBA genre.
Yeah, people are pulling influences from MOBAs, but are terrified to say the word
Yeah,
MOBA.
nobody wants to brand something a MOBA.
Why do you think that is?
Because
MOBA,
of
problems.
the point of entry, because it's so difficult to get into them.
MOBAs are like one of the biggest things in the world.
Yeah, but they're super dense, and so anybody who's not into a MOBA and hasn't, had a MOBA get its hooks into it yet is really sort of hesitant to
It's kind of like converting to a religion.
But it seems more and more like
The MOBA religion.
the people that aren't into a MOBA are the minority. Or like that's kind of what it seems like. Like League of
Yeah.
Legends is so big and
Yeah.
Dota 2 is so big.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, granted
You
though,
like Smite.
I love Smite. Granted though, until Smite, MOBAs were primarily a PC thing. So console fans,
That's true.
people that are only
So
on
we're trying to
console.
sell a game to console.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think now they're trying to sort of lean further towards. It's by the folks that made Borderlands.
Borderlands, yeah.
I'm big fan of Borderlands. I would much prefer Borderlands 3 myself.
Well, we'll be getting that in 35 years.
Yep. That same day, February 9th, some Naruto game comes out.
A Shippuden?
Yep.
Is it
Naruto, Shippuden,
Yeah.
something.
Is there a storm? Are there ninjas?
Yeah.
Defender of the Dragon
Yeah.
Ball Ninja. I don't know.
Evidently, yeah. No,
People are like ripping their hair out right now. What are you doing?
these the last couple Naruto games have been developed by CyberConnect, who did the Dot Hack, and they did Asura's Wrath, and those have been generally regarded pretty well.
Wow, Asura's Wrath.
Remember that game? Was it a
Yeah,
game?
very,
Are we calling it a game?
very
Quick time,
interesting
cinematic
game.
Yeah.
anime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of cool. I never finished it, but I think I
It was weird. I remember. I think there was a part where I threw the moon at a man.
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
And my arm got really big.
Yep.
Not a flaming
arm moon
piece
throw.
of sea life. The
No.
Asura's Wrath.
Yeah.
Totally forgot about that one. February 23rd, 2 big games. You must choose Deus Ex Mankind Divided or Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
Deus Ex.
Deus Ex.
There's no way both those are coming on the same day. One of them's gonna. One of them's gonna.
One of them's
get
going to blink.
fly.
I don't know. Currently, Rise of the Tomb Raider and Fallout 4 are coming out on the same day.
Which,
I have said on many podcasts that I think Tomb Raider is gonna get delayed. I think I'm wrong now. Because I played that game at PAX and it's real good and it seems finished.
yeah, it happens. I mean, Mad Max, Metal Gear, same day. Right?
Yeah.
So
Two really good games.
we're
coming out
just
same
at this
time.
point where there are too many games in the year to slide them around.
Yeah, I think they also wanted to time the Mad Max release with the Blu-ray of
Yeah,
the movie.
yeah.
That
Right.
came out the same day.
And then Kojima got involved.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those like Tomb Raider and Fallout where I'm going to play through Mirror's Edge first
Yeah.
because I feel
Yeah.
like it'll be the shorter of the two.
Yeah, it's
just
like
a
which
campaign.
one's shorter and more straightforward.
Yeah, and then I imagine Deus Ex will be a longer, more convoluted thing.
Although Mirror's Edge is kind of an open world game now too.
Yeah,
so-
that's true. Yeah, I'm just thinking about the first one, which was short, but yeah, this one. might be a lot longer.
For me, it's an interest call. I certainly think Mirror's Edge is going to be exciting. I'm really looking forward to it, but I think it's a game I'm going to play 3 months after release. With Deus Ex there to play, and I love that series. I love it, especially what they did in the first game. I still remember just being blown away by the way you could come at things from so many different directions, and I want to see how that plays out again in another version.
Yeah, I'm excited for both those games. Then moving into March 8th is The Division. Ooh. Finally, a big Ubisoft game.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I hope that turns out well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
high
we both played it not too long ago.
Yeah, at E3.
At E3, yeah.
Yeah.
And I got like very distinct sort of, I shouldn't say this, but very distinct like Destiny vibes from it, right? Like Destiny uses the word fire team, but in The Division, it's just your squad of 3 people. And everything seemed sort of instance-based, right? Where you go into dungeons and then you can meet with other fire teams. It seemed really cool, the loot system. It's a shooter, very heavily leaned on like social mechanics and social elements of it.
Yeah, I had this really cool moment at E3 where I'm gonna call him a posse.
Yeah, not your squad.
My posse,
Your squad?
my posse found another posse, and we were sort of just like we had the same objective, and we were like, "Are we cool?"
Yeah.
And like we were working together, and then eventually like one of them fired off a shot, and it just turned out like we could have went along with each other and actually got through the mission together, but then we ended up just murdering each other.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
And then there's the
Real life.
loot thing. It's always like the greed wins out in the end,
Yeah.
right?
And if you die in the game, you die in real life.
That's true.
I don't think that's how it works.
No, it is.
Well, you'll see.
Wow. I wasn't there for the preview event. I guess I missed that.
As we mentioned at the top of the show, Uncharted 4 is also March 18th.
Yeah.
And then 2 games are just supposed to come sometime in March: Street Fighter 5 and Killer Instinct Season 3.
Ooh.
Right. 2
big
fighting games.
fighting
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Which do you think is going to perform better?
Perform better
Well,
or
they're
be
both
better?
they're both console exclusives, right?
Oh, yeah. What if those came out on the same day? That'd be huge.
That'd be good.
Are they going to
Yeah.
go head to head?
Yeah.
Well,
Wow. Like a fighting game should,
Like-
Yeah.
perhaps.
Like same day?
Yeah.
Street Fighter is
that'd be
definitely the
interesting.
bigger game.
For sure,
like
absolutely.
The more popular game.
It's crazy that we just have. There's so many games that I bet are going to come out in those couple months that just haven't been revealed. Like there's a bunch of indies we know, stuff like
Yeah.
Witness and Firewatch and Below. That's like these things are sort of almost done. And when are they going to actually come out? Like are they going to try to squeak out in 2015? Are they going to come out early 2016?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you have it. 10 plus big to big-ish games coming early 2016.
Cool.
Moving on, Xbox has announced the Xbox One Elite bundle with the Elite controller. It comes with a 1 terabyte solid-state hybrid drive that loads games up to 20% faster.
That's exciting.
It's $500, but you don't get a game. So, what do we think about that price?
I think that that's probably what it costs to build that thing and sell
Yeah.
it at a profit, but I'm not going to spend that much for it. I think that for some people, they'll welcome that price point. I don't think it's excessive, but it's more than a lot of people are going to be willing to pay for a speed increase.
What's the current price of the Xbox One now?
You can get a $399.
Yeah.
Generally, it comes
But
with
it comes with a game, yeah.
Yeah,
So this
right.
is like $100 more with no game.
No game.
With the new controller, though, as well.
New controller on its own costs $150.
Yeah, the new controller is nice looking.
Yeah,
Pretty.
it's more than double the price.
Yeah,
And
I-
sometimes you shop around, you get a $350 deal too. I mean,
Yeah,
with the game.
I mean, I would have to see. I want to see this in action and see like what side by side, like how noticeable are
The load
times, and I want to get some hands-on time with this controller and see if this is a controller that I want to spend all my time with.
How does it feel? Yeah, I'm struggling. Like, I'm grasping to figure out who the intended audience for this is, right? Like, you've got people who are already invested in the Xbox One. Are you trying to double down on that, or are you trying to lure people away from PC or consoles? Like, is this the hardcore version of the Xbox
Yeah,
One?
I mean, I've never bought a second version of a console. Generally, I've just had good luck where I tend to be an early adopter, but
Yeah.
my stuff worked. Like I had an N64 the first day, and it still works fine. I had a launch 360 that somehow still works.
Wow,
Party over
really?
here.
I
bought a
Working
new-
in 64.
I bought a new PS2 Slim. Remember when they like
Yeah,
snapped
yeah.
that thing down?
Yeah.
I bought the tiny PS1.
Oh yeah, the
PSX.
PSONE.
Yeah.
ONE, yeah.
Yeah,
How about that NES top loader? That's pretty cool.
that one was worth.
That was
it, though.
like 92 or 93, right?
Yeah, it came out really, really late, but it's the way to play.
Really?
Yeah, totally.
You
Real
don't
way
have
to play. Just get a Super Nintendo.
There's that too.
This Elite Bundle is exclusive to GameStop and Microsoft stores, at least through November. It's available November 3rd, but then Amazon is taking pre-orders, and it says it ships in December. So I think they have a-
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
So some sort of GameStop exclusivity period.
So let's say let's say this is the best version of the Xbox One when it comes out. Do you think early adopters get screwed?
I don't know.
I mean, early adopters already kind of got screwed, right? Like
They already get screwed.
they bought it day one, and then
Got their Kinect.
the price the price got dropped $100. So
Yeah.
I mean, I've never really been an early adopter because of this. It's like buyer beware. You know, things change, things break, new revisions go, and it's not really the onus isn't on the company to make it up.
Yeah.
And that's literally every electronic. Like
Everything on
if
the
you buy an
planet.
iPhone or an iPad, you know that 6-9 months from then, there's going to be a better version for
Yep.
the same amount of money.
Tech in specific, like I'm trying to think of parallels, like maybe cars or something, but tech in specific has such a short shelf life.
So
Yeah.
I spend my money on vodka.
Oh, there we go.
Because
It
people
never
don't make
goes
better
bad.
vodka.
Yeah, I don't think
That's not
this
true.
is.
If you open it, you have to drink it in 2 days, right? Otherwise it goes bad.
If you die in the vodka, you die in real life.
You die in you die in real life.
That may be true.
Speaking
Yeah.
of, that's really. I was sad to hear about Wes Craven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize he was in a bad way.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. I got to see Castle Crashers Remastered last week, and you guys know this actually comes out next week,
Whoa,
That
really?
is so exciting.
September 9th.
That's
Yeah.
so
Holy
funny.
moly.
Yeah.
We were just talking about XBLA games like 2 months ago, and I was like, when are they going to remaster Castle Crashers? When was this announced?
Yeah, just today.
Yeah.
There you
And,
go.
yeah, so this was like one of the first really big downloadable Xbox
Yeah.
Live Arcade games
Yeah.
that blew up.
Yeah.
It became
Yeah.
a phenomenon.
Yeah.
And so now it's like I saw it running, and it's 60 frames per second, and which is double the frame rate, and the textures are 5 times as large.
Wow.
So it's
Yeah.
so much bigger.
300%
Remember back in the day,
more.
there was like a 50 megabyte cap.
Yeah.
on what
Oh,
Xbox
yeah,
Live
that's right.
arcade
Yeah,
games
yeah.
were.
Yeah.
So they just couldn't fit all that stuff.
That's
in.
right. And then they took it off. Eventually, it was a gig, and then I think State of Decay was.
Yeah.
So this is
Couple
really
games.
this is really exciting because that game is fundamentally a simple brawler. But if you've got the right group of people together, brawlers are a wonderful if you don't have to throw too much money into them. You have a great time together. Castle Crashers has more depth than most. It's got a lot of reasons to go back and replay things, and you just hop online for half an hour, beat some stuff up with some friends, hop off, and then do it again a week later. And Castle Crashers is really great about
Yeah,
that.
and it's not a genre that we get a ton of anymore. I mean, a lot of times we'll get like the old Ninja Turtles games or the Simpsons games,
Yeah.
but from last generation, like this and Scott Pilgrim are the two games that I think of.
Dragon's
Oh,
Crown.
yeah.
Dragon's
wow.
Crown, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And the re-release of Dungeons and Dragons because that was just
Yeah.
amazing that came
Those
out.
are good,
finally.
yeah.
yeah.
But they added a new mode to it, sort of a new mini game called Back Off Barbarian. And I played this mode at PAX, and I have to tell you, like, it broke my brain at first. Like, it is really, really hard to wrap your mind around. But once you get it, it all makes sense. So I'm going to attempt to explain it to you here. I have footage of it here that I can show you for anyone that's watching the video.
Create a word puzzle.
But if we can pull up this B-roll here, Sean. So this mode is called Back Off Barbarian, and it's like a board game where you have tiles, and you're moving around trying to avoid the enemies from hopping on your head.
What?
But now, as I'm pause the footage here. You see all those arrows? Okay, those arrows, you can move in 4 directions, up, down, left, right, and they're mapped to the 4 face buttons of your controller.
Oh,
so,
no.
you know, Y is yellow, green, I was playing on an Xbox controller, Y is yellow, A is green, X is blue, and what is it, A is
B
red?
is
Or
red.
B is red, sorry.
Yeah.
He is right. Yeah.
So, but in order to move the direction, you have to press the color of the arrow, not the direction. So A is green, but as you can see, all those arrows that are pointing down are green. That means you have to press A to move that direction. I guess, wait a minute. See, I'm not even explaining it right
But
now.
somebody,
This
but
looks-
like, there's some
that's what it
A's
is.
that are moving
so
down.
the blue guy, if you look at the blue guy, the arrow next to him is a green for
Yeah.
down. So you have to hit down to move left.
Oh, that's great.
No,
that's
no.
great. This
That's
is
what you
like
do.
Choo Choo Rocket meets Cubert meets a board. This looks amazing.
So it like matches. He said the longest a match has ever gone in the studio is like 2 minutes. Like that's how long it takes.
I love that.
That sounds
Oh, there's a
great.
Battle Block Theater guy in there too.
Yeah, look at him running around there.
Yeah, so that's the new minigame, Back Off Barbarian. I'm sorry, it's hard to explain even when you're watching the video, so I
Yeah.
apologize to our listeners.
I feel like
it doesn't make
it's
any
gonna be a lot of
sense.
fun.
Yeah, was it fun, Damon? Did you?
It
enjoy
was fun,
It looked
especially,
fun.
but like, I had to play the game like 3 or 4 times
Yeah.
before I understood what was going on.
Yeah.
I was
No,
gonna
it-
say if you are listening, you should go look at a video of it
Yeah.
right now because it's it looks like one of those things where you kind of have to just like let your eyes kind of cross so
Yeah,
you can
kind
see
of,
all
yeah.
the different
Yeah.
things going on.
It really does look kind of like Choo Choo Rocket. I mean, that
Yeah.
really weird.
I mean, it
kinda awkward
looks
yeah.
like Choo Choo Rocket, but it doesn't play like Choo Choo
right.
Rocket. Anyway.
It's where you're hopping up. Wow.
Anyway, that's Back Off Barbarian mode, new mode for Castle Crashers Remastered, which is out next week, September 9th.
Nice.
And then speaking of Behemoth, I also got an update on Pit People, which is their
Yeah.
next
yeah.
game, and it's their hex-based, turn-based strategy game, which I love. I love turn-based strategy, and they were showing off cooperative mode, which we're seeing here. And in this mode, 2 players can play either locally or online, and you each get your own squad, and you get to issue your own commands to your squad. And the game scales the enemies. We'll just add more enemies during battles.
Damon, are you issuing your commands simultaneously? Like, is both of you guys' turns happening at the same time, then the computer moves?
You're
or
taking,
are you
you're,
each
you're taking
a
your
turn?
turns at the same time, and
Okay.
when you've both issued all of your actions, then it's the computer's turn.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
But what strikes me about this game is the level of customization. Because in battle, you gain loot from your enemies, and there's like certain types of enemies, like firemen or pirates, and maybe you want a hook hand, but you can only get a hook hand from pirates, so you have to fight pirates. Then you take your loot back to town, and you can customize all of your fighters with all the loot you got. So it's like you have up to 6 character slots in your squad, but some units take up more than 1 slot.
Oh, okay.
So you have to decide how many units to take, what kinds of units to take, what abilities to assign them, what loot to equip them with, and you go out and
This looks
go out in
amazing.
battles.
Like Westnoth or Military Madness.
Sounds a little
or,
ogre battle-ish.
Yeah, a little bit of that. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, they
wow.
said-
Super funny too. Super funny.
Oh
super
yeah,
charming.
really
Yeah.
fun and great art.
Yeah.
They're known for having great artwork. They said they wanted to make a more streamlined, more accessible hex-based strategy game because I think a lot of the PC hex-based games can be a little complicated.
Right.
Yeah,
And
it's
they-
definitely it had like shades of like Advance Wars, sort of in terms of like simplicity yet depth.
Okay.
It's more of a rock
Yeah.
paper scissors
Yeah,
like
yeah.
battle system.
Yeah.
for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, there used to be a kind of a popular genre subculture for these with games like Nectaris, Military Madness. And
Well, I mean those are pretty obscure.
They are, but they made
TurboGrafx 16
a
games.
lot of them for a while between that and Advance Wars and a few others. And they were more popular in Japan than here, but
Yeah.
they did really well there for a
What
while.
was the last accessible hex-based game?
Oh goodness.
Skulls of the Shogun, maybe?
Super Hexagon.
Skulls of the Shogun
That's not
is
really
a
hex-based, though.
Sort of,
You have an area that you can move.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, it's not
Battle
like tiles.
for Battle for Westnoth's old, but it keeps getting updated, so that's one to think about. But I think Skulls
Didn't
of the
they
Shogun-
make a new Military Madness for WiiWare?
Yeah, they did.
I don't think it was very good though. I know
I
it's
played
random,
it, it wasn't
but
all
they made a
that
lot of random games.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they made a new Blaster Master for WiiWare.
Did they?
Yeah.
They did.
I know
Absolutely
it's crazy.
did.
I think they made a new Contra game.
Was
it
it
Contra Rebirth.
I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah, they made
But
Rebirth.
that was good.
Another
It's like-
console.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so strange. Anyway, Pit People is in development, and unfortunately, they won't even give you like a release window until they're like done.
Like,
Yeah.
it's done when it's done.
Yeah, but it looks really, really good. Definitely looking forward to that. This week we learned of a new gymnasium open in Los Angeles.
Yes, we did.
Called Nerd Strong.
Nerd Strong.
And this is a gym for nerds. Have you guys heard about this? Yeah.
No,
did,
but I need to
actually.
hear. I am a nerd and I'm out of shape,
At
so
this
tell me
gym-
more.
At this gym, many of the workouts are built around fantasy, sci-fi, superhero adventures. Marty's just shaking his head.
I'm shaking my head.
It's a way of making exercise more fun, so you may be kicking down dungeon doors, raiding temples, joining the Avengers, fighting zombies, or even taking on Game of Thrones' The Mountain in combat. I don't think they have the real mountain.
If they had a real mountain, that would be
real down on his
Literally, he would literally murder everyone.
Yeah.
You mentioned temples. Do they have like the set from Legends of the Hidden Temple that I can run
I don't know,
through?
yeah,
Because-
they must have to like set up some sort of obstacle course.
The Temple from Temple Run.
Oh, that doesn't sound fun to me at all.
Just run right through it.
Just run. That never ends.
They get pretty obscure. They have a Cubert exercise routine.
How does
where
that
you're supposed
work?
to battle coily.
How does that work?
But if you think about it, Cubert is all jumping. All you can do is jump, and I bet if you're just jumping around, that's probably pretty good exercise.
What if they actually built a pyramid?
Yeah, like
And
there's
you
just,
like,
They built the whole Cubert pyramid?
That would be awesome.
that would be
Dangerous.
amazing.
Very dangerous.
you
Yeah.
put your arms to your sides, you just hop along there, and then some dude in purple, like a purple sweatsuit,
Yeah,
is
they
chasing you
just got
around.
this really fit guy, like a cross trainer guy with just a shirt that says Coily on it, and he's coming at you.
So what happens if you hop onto the little disc? Does he have to go off the edge and be like and like die?
Then you die.
If you die on the pyramid,
You die in real life.
This is a grouped activity gym. It's not a gym where they have like solo equipment. So you pay
it's
it's
classes?
class-based
Yeah.
or one-on-one.
They call it
trainer.
multiplayer.
Oh!
Also, another pretty great gym in LA is Outside. because
Yeah.
the weather is perfect.
Literally anywhere.
I can't get off this keyboard thing. My eyes just kind of misted over imagining this pyramid in real life. Like I was tossing balls down the top of it. I want this to exist. I just want to have this in my house now.
Are any of you members of a gym?
I
currently?
was, and then I didn't.
You are.
I stopped.
I am too.
Yeah.
All right, look.
But
at
I don't
me.
know if something like this opened in San Francisco.
It would do extremely well.
It would do very, very well. Would you go to it though?
Probably not. I'm a 24-hour fitness, and that's.
I'm a 20
I can go to
I'm a-
anyone in the city.
I'm a
I
24
feel
guy
like
as
this
well.
seems more like a I don't want this as a gym. I want this as a place that serves alcohol. Then I can engage in these.
I was
things.
just gonna say, like, you know, they have video game bars all over San Francisco.
Yeah, so
Well,
let's
yeah.
just. I'll
you're not
fight,
getting exercise.
I'll fight Cubert if I got a serious blackout going on.
All right. Pop quiz, hot shot.
Who on the bus?
Who wants to be hot shot?
I want to be a hot shot.
Okay, you
Marty's
just
Keanu.
got hired at Nerd Strong Gym.
Okay.
What's your video game fitness activity that you're going to
Oh
plan?
man, it's going to be. It would be creating the wall from Catherine, where you have to move the bus. And there's gonna be
to
sheep
scale the
everywhere.
wall?
Yeah, and your ex is gonna be screaming at you the whole time.
Yeah, that'd probably be pretty good.
Yeah, you have to do it in your underwear.
Good workout.
Pretty good.
All right, before we go this week, we simply must play video game 20 questions.
We simply must.
It is that time.
Hooray.
Our suggestion this week comes from Ken St. Pierre from West Palm Beach, Florida.
I thought he was gonna be French, and he turns out to be from Florida.
Could still be French?
Yeah.
That's true.
Close
You don't
to-
know.
it's
Not
close to
mutually
Louisiana.
exclusive.
Yeah.
That's really,
There's a lot of French
far.
there.
That's actually really far from Louisiana.
Is it really?
Yeah, really far.
Everyone knows how this works. You have 20 questions to guess this game. If you guess the wrong game, you lose. You may begin.
Was it
You just
after January 1st, 2000?
No.
Okay.
So it's an oldie.
It's an oldie. Brennan's turn.
is it?
Hubert.
Is it?
No, we already had Keeper.
No, we lose.
Yeah.
All right, time to go home. Is it a platformer? Here we go.
Kind of, but not. That's not really. That's not its like primary genre. There
No,
may
sorry.
be platforming in it, but that's not what you would call it.
Is it primary? Is it a Nintendo console game?
No.
Is it a PlayStation 1 game?
No.
So before 2000, what do we have?
We have
Sega.
Sega.
I mean, we
have-
could go back to Atari.
I mean, it could be Sega, PC, Atari. I don't think there's gonna be like a 3DO or a Jaguar game.
Oh, that would be amazing if it
you
was.
trash
never
like
know.
that.
You never.
You don't know.
Okay,
the French.
let's go broad.
Okay.
Genre?
I don't know platformer genre. What do you? We want to narrow it down. We know it wasn't a Nintendo game, so it didn't show up on Nintendo consoles.
Before
so,
2000, do we want to narrow down the date even more?
Yeah, we could do post 90. That works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that our final answer?
Yeah.
Was it before 1990?
Before January 1st, 1990?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so
Oh,
it's between
wait.
1990 and 2000.
By the way he answered that,
Yeah, so I'm
I feel
thinking
like
it's
it's like
90.
1990.
But perhaps it was chicanery.
But
on
then
his
what
part.
was this on a Sega system?
Yes.
Okay,
All right.
that's a Sega game. All right, so,
So
it's not-
90 was
Would have been the Master System?
the Master System.
No, that 89 was the Genesis, and so it could be. It's probably a Genesis game or a Saturn game
Or CD?
or an early Dreamcast game.
Yeah, it could be CD.
Could be Sega CD. Yeah.
Oh, the Dreamcast.
So it's a Sega game, but that's it'd have to be a very early Dreamcast game. The first few months of launch title. Okay, let's try to find out something about the game. Do you play a human in this game?
Yes.
Okay, that's helpful.
It's not Vector Man, because that dude's just a bunch of balls.
Okay.
Are you a mascot for
Was
a
this
soft
game
drink?
on a cartridge?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. So almost certainly
that takes
Genesis.
out Dreamcast, that takes out
Saturn.
CD, that takes out
So
Saturn.
it's Genesis or Master System?
Yeah,
Or
and-
32X.
and it's very unlikely to be a Master System because it would be really late.
Sure.
for
So a
Master System.
Sega game where you play. Oh, what about what is that? What's that awful Mario game that wasn't Mario? Alex Mack, the secret world of Alex Mack.
Alex Kidd. He's kind of like a monkey. Like he's like.
I thought he was a boy.
No, he's got like monkey ears. Like he's like I'm not sure he's fully human.
We still talking about Alex Mack? I had a crush on that girl.
No, not Alex
She's one
Mack.
of my first crushes.
The Secret Life?
She turned into a puddle.
For the record, I've always assumed Alex Kidd is a kid.
Oh, really? You've always assumed Alex Kidd as a kid. Okay, yeah, I always thought he was part monkey. But there's for the record there. He just said that. So,
Okay, so probably Genesis,
Probably
not
Genesis.
just a platformer,
yeah. Well, Alex Kidd's pretty much a platformer.
and you
so
you
that-
play as a human.
He plays a human. All right, so we probably ought to start genre now. You think maybe?
Yeah, I mean, might as well. What are we at?
It was 9.
We got 11
No.
more.
Yeah, I'm sorry, 8. I can't count.
We got 12 more to go.
Okay, so why don't we try to get out? How about what do you think about genre? Like try to get RPG out of the way. Try to get some of the
What other genres have platforming elements?
Action games?
action RPGs, action games, even some kind of weird puzzler hybrid. There could be all kinds of things.
Is it a weird puzzle? No.
No, we need to learn something more about what's going on, like who you're fighting, or who the enemies are, or the setting, or those are good ways.
Do you turn into a wolf?
Are,
At any point in the game,
Altered Beast? Is
do
that
you
what you're
alter
asking?
your form and become a beast?
I don't. Well, no.
okay, so it's not,
What is
Hold on,
that
hold on.
answer?
You don't turn into a beast.
you don't turn into a beast, but you alter your form. Oh God, it could be Kid Chameleon.
Mike Peck.
Isn't a
could be done.
chameleon a beast?
Huh?
What's your definition of beast?
Yeah, but you become one. Well, that's true. It could be a. We've got to ask for who you're. Let's see.
We got to ask one because your pinky's getting
Like,
sore.
where's it?
Is that what's
It's
happening?
hard to hold up-
Does
it's
this
hard to hold
game
up
take
9
place
fingers.
in a place that is like the real world? Like
Yes.
Okay. All right.
That's 10.
Okay. The setting is like our world. So.
Okay, so you're human in our world. You don't turn into a beast.
You do some platforming.
Okay.
You
so
do
no-
some
Is it a
platforming
beat 'em up?
on the Sega Genesis.
Yes.
It's a
Okay,
beat 'em up.
so-
Okay. Studio maybe.
that's easy.
Studio.
Streets of Rage.
Streets of Rage?
But if we guess the game and we're wrong, we lose.
Okay, well,
So we gotta
let's,
narrow it
let's
down
think
more.
about some Streets of Rage.
During PAX,
Was there a woman
we
kidnapped?
guessed Persona 3. Oh no, we guessed Persona 3, and somehow we got off of it, and it turned out to be Persona 4.
Yeah.
We were real unhappy about that.
Oh, man.
All right. So let's.
Streets of Rage was...
Sega.
Yeah, but the narrative of Streets of Rage was girlfriend kidnapped, right?
What in Streets of Rage? I think so.
Or was it President's Daughter?
I don't remember somebody kidnapped.
Was
Well, there's
there-
several of them. This is the one. If we could ask. Oh, first, let's figure out if it's.
In this game, was someone kidnapped?
Yes.
Okay. was this brawler produced by Sega?
Yes.
Should we just
Okay.
keep dancing around it just
right.
to make sure?
Is this?
So, no.
Were there multiple games in this series?
No.
Oh, no, it's,
Well, okay.
What?
No.
it's not Streets of Rage.
What? F.
The simple answer is no.
Okay, so it's a brawler where
there's
they're
a
not.
There is
complicated
more than
answer.
one version of the game, though.
But there's more. Oh wait. Oh.
Should we ask if the word
But it
rage
was
is in the
Sega.
title?
Are you doing the stuff in the
Oh
streets?
Yeah.
no! It's a Sega
Do the streets have a
brawler.
name?
Oh, what else? What else?
The deep cut.
It's like a brawler where somebody's kidnapped. Oh, what else? People are screaming right
This
now.
is a good one, Ken St. Pierre.
Yeah.
I
It's
got it.
not, oh, you got it?
Do you think?
What do you think? What do you think it is?
I want to save it. 'Cause I just want to go balls out. Balls out and guess it.
Question 19.
You're not gonna help?
Oh no! There's multiples of that too. It's a Sega brawler. Those also have multiples.
See, I feel like there's a caveat to the no.
I know what it is.
Oh, what do you think it is, Marty? Let
Now-
it go.
now Marty thinks
You
he's
wanna
on my
let him
team.
go? He's so
Yeah,
excited.
I'm at a brick wall. I thought it was
Yeah, no,
Streets of
I
Rage.
was
gotta
like-
help
ideas,
your,
but go
you gotta
for
help
it.
your bros. Your
Do
brothers.
you want me
in
to
arms.
just? Do you want me to
Just
just?
spew it
You
out.
can talk about it with them.
I think it's Comic Zone.
That's kind of a brawler.
It's a brawler. I think you
Yeah.
turn into a weird thing. You play a dude. I
Yeah.
think your dude's someone got kidnapped.
Did Sega make Comic Zone?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think they published it. I believe.
Are you in this video game? Are you trapped inside a comic book?
No.
F.
It's 15. 5 left.
15. Let's see. It's not Golden Axe. It's not Streets of Rage.
Was the Simpsons
it's
arcade
not-
game on Genesis? No, that was arcade only.
And this is produced by Sega. Like this is made by Sega. So we've got a. What else? What brawlers did Sega do? It's Final Fight's Capcom, and that had. What else?
On Super Nintendo.
It was on Super Nintendo, and you have the multiple versions, but they were all on Super Nintendo. I'm gonna get kicked in
we
the
know
head
this
for
game?
this.
Is this gonna be a jerk question?
Was one of your questions, do you know this
No,
game?
I was
No.
just asking you as a buddy.
I
It's like
bet you
a
know.
weird, just a buddy.
That was just a buddy
This is
question.
off the record question.
Man,
is
this
this a
is-
weird B-side?
Do you pick up items in this game and use them as things you beat people with?
I think I know it. I think I know it.
hold on.
Wait, I think I know it. No, don't ask that. Don't ask that.
Okay, you want to retract that question?
Does this song feature a? Does this game feature a popular musician?
Yes.
Oh!
Got it. All right. Is this game Michael Jackson's Moonwalker?
Yes.
All right.
Got it in 17.
Nicely done.
You can make the dogs dance along to the music. That's awesome.
You turn into a robot, right?
Yeah, you turn into
Yep.
a giant robot, Jackson.
That was good. You're not turned into a beast.
You're not a beast.
Yeah, you're a robot.
So there's the Genesis version, and then there's the arcade version.
We
They're
played the
different.
arcade version.
They
The
are-
arcade version is
they-
like
They
isometric.
couldn't be more different.
I mean,
Yeah.
I like
but
the
it's
arcade
also a brawler.
I like
So
the
it's
arcade version better, honestly.
You still are saving kids in each one. It's just one of them is side scrolling, and one of them is
They
isometric.
both make me feel uncomfortable playing.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Someone did get kidnapped in that game.
Yeah.
And it was my childhood.
You get too far into Moonwalker, and all the searching through the doors and stuff just gets really tedious. But
You should do
the
a
arcade game doesn't have that
Moonwalker
problem.
wiki.
A Moonwalker wiki? It does
It's on Metal Gear.
A Moon Wiki.
It does have some really good music in it. Moonwiki, Michael Jackson's movie. There is a Master System version of that game. You were talking about the Master System earlier. So, get that.
Moonwalker is very close to the name Skywalker.
Oh, it is. Luke Moonwalker.
Is there something?
Do you think there's something there?
It was originally called Moonkiller.
What about Captain EO? Remember that guy?
Yeah.
That's really close to Captain Phasma.
It is. Captain. Wow.
Remember Captain Power?
I do.
Yeah.
And the Soldiers of the Future.
Yeah.
He shot at your VCR with a spaceship.
Star Wars is in the future.
It does. Well,
That was
actually, it's in the
literally a
past.
long time ago.
Yeah.
The opposite of the future is exactly what I meant.
But if you die in Star Wars, you die in the real world.
Sure.
Bringing it all around.
Yeah.
That was a good suggestion. Ken St. Pierre.
Nicely done.
Thank you for playing, everybody. That's all the scoops we have for you this week. Thank you for joining us. Everybody have a great Labor Day weekend.
Yes.
Remember, you can always reach us at the email address gamescoop@ign.com. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Marty. My name is Damon. This is IGN Gamescoop, and we're out.